everyone, this is Madeline from the New Brighton Library, and today's science experiment is going to be a Skittles density rainbow. In your bag you should have gotten these 5 plastic cups, this little thing which is called a pipette, and we're going to be using it later. I'll show you how to use it if you don't know. And most importantly, a bag of Skittles. Now this is very important to remember. These Skittles are for science, not for eating. You're going to need every single one of these in your experiment for it to work properly. So please do not eat them. Alright, the first step is going to be to separate out your Skittles by color into the 5 cups. So you should have 2 red ones, 4 orange ones, 6 yellow ones, 8 green ones, and 10 purple ones. Now you could also use blue Skittles instead of the purple ones, but purple is what ended up being in the bag of Skittles I had got. Alright, so once you have them all separated out, we're going to have to add 2 tablespoons of hot water. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, I'm back and I have a pitcher full of hot water just from the sink. It doesn't have to be extremely hot, but as long as it's warm, I think that will work best. So what you want to do is add 2 tablespoons of water into each of the cups. Now if you don't have a tablespoon, then that's okay. Just as long as there's about the same amount of water in each cup. Okay, as you can see here, the color is already starting to come off of the Skittles and dye the water. You can see it here with the red. So you're gonna see now white Skittles sitting in your cups here. And this is gonna be the tricky part because you're going to have to wait. So I would suggest you wait overnight just to be safe for your Skittles to completely dissolve in the water. You don't want to be able to see any of the round Skittles in there. When they're fully dissolved, it should have like a layer of sugar on top that you can mix up, but you're going to have to wait overnight for the Skittles to dissolve. And then you'll be ready to do the next part of the experiment. It is now the next day. I have let my Skittles sit in water overnight to make sure they're fully dissolved. Now if you look at them, there's probably going to be a crackly layer of sugar on top. So you can just take your pipette here and just give them a little mix to try and break up that sugar that's up there. Okay, all of those have been mixed now. I also have a pitcher of water here just to clean the pipette in between uses. So if you've never used a pipette before, what you're going to do is squeeze the top and then you stick it in water and you let go of the top and water ends up inside of it. And if you want the water to come out, you just squeeze the top again and the water comes out. So we're using this because we have to add the colors carefully to try and ensure that they're not going to mix very much. Okay, so first step is to add the green to the purple here. So the purple is going to be our bottom layer. So what you want to do is stick your pipette into the green. I'm tipping my cup a little bit so I can get more up into the pipette. And what I'm going to do is add it around the rim, around the edges of the cup, to try and do it as easily as possible. You want to be very gentle with this. And it's going to take a little while, so you just have to be patient. But hopefully the result at the end will be worth it. can see. Might be a little bit difficult. You see that there are the different layers of colors. Now it might not be the easiest rainbow to see, but you can still see that there are definitely color transitions here. Starting from the darker bottom and the lighter top. Now, if you had just put the same number of Skittles in water and then mixed all those colors together, they would just mix together to make just some kind of brown color. So the reason that there's layering in this is because we used a different number of Skittles for each color. So since there were 10 purple ones, that one has the most amount of sugar because it has the most amount of Skittles, which means that it is the most dense out of all of the colors because it has the most amount of sugar in the water. So since it is the most dense, then it wants to be at the bottom. Now the green was the second most dense, so it wants to lay on top of the purple. And then you get to the red when we only had 2 red Skittles, and that's the least dense. It has the least amount of sugar in it, so it wants to be at the very top because it's the lightest. So that's why we have these layers here in our rainbow. So I hope you had a fun time doing this experiment. I know this one was a bit more tedious than some of the others, but it does have a pretty cool result. Keep checking back on the New Brighton Library Facebook and Instagram pages to stay up to date on everything that we will be doing next. Thank you. Bye.